Welcome to part 2 of the Goodfellas heist. Last week on Heist Club, we dove into the world of the New York mafia in the 1970s and met Jimmy Burke, a powerful mob associate with a penchant for thievery and his Roberts Lounge gang. The gang is now moments away from robbing the Lufthansa vault at JFK Airport. Let's get into it.
Welcome to Heist Club, where we've got a new heist story coming at you each week. We're here to uncover the details behind some of the most audacious and ridiculous robberies of all time. How they pulled it off, how they got caught, and the mysteries that remain. Bank heists, art heists, diamond heists, and other capers you won't believe. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Todd.
Welcome to the club. All right.
Okay.
Are you ready, good fella? Are you ready, good fella?
I am ready. Hey, little fella. Hey, good fella.
Good fella.
Hey, good fella. You gotta scratch my neck a little bit and give me a pat on the head. We're on to part 2 of our first ever two-parter. The heist that inspired Goodfellas, the movie, and the robbing of the Lufthansa vault at JFK Airport. So I say, we have different outfits. The weather's different outside. A lot has happened in the world that we're not going to talk about. And we're just going to start, setting up our story again. Let's get back into it.
Yeah, I'm excited to get back into it.
Okay. In 1978, Jimmy is fresh out of prison and looking for a big score when bookie Marty Krugman comes to him with information about millions left in a vault in the Lufthansa terminal at JFK Airport. Lufthansa employee Louis Werner and Marty's debtor confirms the story and reveals that he had been planning on robbing the airline for months. With permission from mobsters like John Gotti and Paul Vario, Jimmy calls in the Roberts Lounge gang. Louis gives them the signal, and it's now or never. The gang set off for the score of a lifetime, with Jimmy waiting in the shadows. So, December 11th, 1978, my dad's birthday. He was turning 30. Wow, that's crazy. He was young.
Whoa.
My dad turned 30, and on that same day at 3 a.m., Jimmy's crew pulls into the Lufthansa air terminal, driving a stolen black Ford Econoline. They're all wearing ski masks and carrying loaded guns. The security guard is on break, just as Louis, the airport worker, said he would be. And they easily bypass the lock fence with some bolt cutters. Easy peasy so far. But no time to celebrate. Everyone split up. The raiding team rushes into the building while Tommy, Jimmy's best friend, and Angelo Sepe, the Lucchese's inside man, drive the van to the loading dock. Once inside, the raiders sweep the building, searching for any stragglers as they stalk to the lunchroom. They enter, guns drawn, screaming for everyone to get down on the floor. I said that sort of dramatically. Not as dramatically as they did, but I didn't just say it normal either. So maybe I'm not a good actor.
No, you're great. Get down, get down.
Get down, get down. Then they make quick work of binding everyone's hands, and the lunchroom is now the hostage room. They changed the label on the door.
Yeah, they brought in a sign.
They brought it to Sharpie or some marker.
That way everyone knows that they're hostage, just in case.
Wait, which room is the hostage room? I labeled it. Go check the sign.
Yeah.
Part of the plan. Conscientious.
You gotta have a signage guy.
Yeah, signage guy. It's always we always see that job in a heist,
Yeah.
Who's handing the sign? Oh, Jesse's got it. But they only have 5 of the 10-person crew apprehended. Everyone in the winding building needs to be accounted for. If they miss even one person, the entire plan can fall apart. Buddha, the Air France employee, leads the charge for the stragglers. The first one they find is John Murray, senior cargo agent who's just trying to sneak in a quick nap at his desk. Respect. They yank him from his seat by his jacket so hard that it rips off. So these are strong guys, and they're pulling hard. Meanwhile, after the excitement of breaking into the loading area, the van guy's second job is to hurry up and wait. That's exciting. While Tommy and Angelo's companions take hostages and sweep the building, they grow restless, even removing their masks to scratch their faces. Then, a set of headlights break their boredom. Meanwhile, inside, the hunt for the supervisor and the man with the keys, Rudy Eyrich, is going nowhere. The raiders are running out of time. New plan. Instead of trying to find the supervisor, they're going to get him to come to them. They tag John Murray in to call Rudy to the lunchroom for a mechanical issue of some kind. Rudy arrives shortly after, and before he could even process seeing his employees face down on the ground, there's a man with a gun pointed at his face. So he's easily captured, and they demand the location of the security guard, which he says he doesn't know. They don't trust his answer, and they take him along on their hunt for the security guard. The poor security guard is only 2 weeks into the job. He barely knows the ins and outs of the building and is still rusty on emergency protocols. They take him down while he's nose deep in his instruction list. Okay. I'm glad that security guards get instruction lists. It's like, when you buy a Lego set, when you start a security job.
Yeah. They give you a Lego set out of every security job.
Yeah. And he's working on Legos. That's right. The instruction set is a Lego set of the airport. It's kind of cute, actually. He's also 6 years old.
We didn't specify the age. So
Sorry to not say that earlier. Yeah, it was child labor laws were different in 1970.
Yeah, he had working on an outline, like a building of the airport with his Legos. Really important stuff.
Now I understand how this job works.
Yep.
But there are 2 more people to find. Just then, the garage door opens. They draw their guns, screaming at whoever's in the darkness. It's Tommy and Angelo joining the commotion with the 2 missing employees, Kerry Whalen, the transfer man, and Rolf Rebman, warehouse worker. So that's who they found earlier. Back when Buddha led the charge on hunting down missing employees, Tommy and Angelo's impatient waiting was interrupted by that set of headlights, signaling an employee returning from his rounds. He immediately suspected something was off when he spotted the van, but not suspicious enough to call it in. The second he exited his vehicle to confront them, they grabbed him. So much for their boredom. The warehouse manager heard the commotion and went to investigate. A short scuffle ensued, but he too got captured, and both were forced into the van. As an insurance policy for seeing their faces, Tommy and Angelo took their hostages' IDs and read out their addresses. You see that in movies. Apparently it's a real thing. It's a real thing they did.
Yeah. When the chaos of the 2 teams meeting again dies down, the workers get shuffled upstairs while Rudy stays with the gang. They're not finished with him. They demand Rudy, the supervisor, give him the key to unlock the vault. But just before they disable the system, they think, what if this is a trick? One wrong move, and they trip the alarm. So they have Rudy do it instead. At gunpoint, of course, with sprinkled in threats against his family for good measure.
Those are my least favorite kind of sprinkles.
There's rainbow, family threats, and chocolate are my
rainbow,
top 3.
Chocolate. Oh, wait, you like family threats more than chocolate? Sorry, my least favorite, your second favorite out of the 3 options.
Yeah, whenever I go to a midnight snack, I open up the pantry and chocolate bar. Oh, look, threats to my family.
Threats to my family. Those taste great right about now. No one will notice I took a few.
Yep. The vault acts like a spaceship's airlock with 2 sets of doors. The first door needs to be closed and relocked before the second can be opened. Rudy disables the security system without a problem or protest. The gang beelines straight to the high-value room. Tonight, it holds some big-ticket items, gems, and currency ready to go to chase Manhattan, used bills collected from American tourists that are impossible to trace. They load 72 15-pound boxes in a matter of minutes, going until they can't stuff any more into the van. They even have to leave some boxes behind. In the melee, they don't realize that they're hauling way more than $2 million.
They're not doing the math in the moment. They're not in the moment on their calculators going 72 15-pound boxes. Each box has blah, 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 blah. Ooh, over 2 million. Well done, boys.
At that point, they were just manpower only, just moving the stuff manically, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In and out as quickly as they can.
At 4:15 a.m., I think it's really fascinating. I don't know why that they're doing this at 3 and 4 in the morning, just like someone's night shift. A guy's trying to take a nap because it's in the middle of night. What else is going to happen?
Well, yeah.
It's like...
Remember, they were having lunch at 3 in the morning. So this is, although you'd think that the employees are more used to it because they do it all the time than our gang, our Robert's Lounge gang, who I'm guessing, they have late nights based on, Goodfellas and some of the partying they have, and they're burying bodies at 2 or 3 in the morning, wherever it is. But still, the timing is interesting.
Do you think they thought about their sleep schedule for that day? Okay, I got to make sure I get 8 hours. I'm going to go to bed at 2 a.m. That way I can wake up at 10, and then I'll be ready for 4 a.m.
I'm sure Jimmy had a nap schedule for everyone. They're like, like when my kids were younger, there's a nap schedule. Please everyone nap from 2 to 4 p.m.
Or do you think they're doing a cocaine schedule, which might be what they did?
That also makes a lot of sense, especially Henry Hill.
Yeah,
yes.
Everybody do a bump, and then we'll go. At 4:15 a.m., they take Rudy back to the lunchroom with strict instructions. Don't call the cops until 15 minutes after we're gone, or we'll kill your families. More family threats.
You say that way too well, Jesse. I don't know why you're so good at saying that. Have you said that
It's a
before
part
to
of
people?
my daily affirmations when I say it in the mirror every morning.
You look in the mirror. You're smart enough. You're good enough.
Don't call the cops
And we
until
can kill
15
your
minutes after we're
family.
gone. We'll kill your families.
We're making light of it. Pretty scary at the time for that. But we're trying to have, I guess enough time has passed. Tragedy plus time
Yeah,
equals
it's been 50
humor.
years. We
Or
can
something.
have fun. I mean, that's what we're here to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then 4:21 a.m., which is 6 minutes later, you're welcome, they drive off going the speed limit. Jimmy's son, Frank, follows in the crash car. Luckily, he doesn't have to ram it into any police today. It's quiet as they leave the scene. Not a single shot is fired in this 64-minute heist. Employees call for help at 4:30 a.m. That's not 15 minutes. That's only 9.
How dare they?
I know.
What happens to them now? I guess all their families
Maybe
get
just
killed.
one
Sorry,
family member,
it's not something to joke about. But I guess that threat doesn't work in the real world. You're like, hearing your family might die. I could wait 6 more minutes just to make sure my family doesn't die.
Yeah, you think.
It's not my money. Like, fine, you took Lufthansa's money. You took all these other people's money. It's fine.
Right. Just after 5 a.m., the Roberts Lounge gang pull the van into a vacant warehouse garage in Brooklyn, courtesy of Gambino capo John Gotti, where Jimmy Burke waits for them, and transfer the loot into the trunks of 2 new cars. After the big guys get their cut, the thieves each get their share of $50,000, which is $250,000 today.
Good score already.
I know. A lot of money for 1978, but a drop of the bucket compared to the millions they stole.
Good point.
Jimmy and his son leave together. The Gambino's inside man, Paolo Lacastri, takes the subway, and the rest drive together.
Is Paolo on the subway with $50,000 in his pocket?
I guess so.
Yeah. I'm just saying, New York City subway in the 70s was not the safest of places.
I know.
It's also like 6 in the morning. I guess he's surrounded by a bunch of Wall Street guys or
That's
something.
true, yeah. Jimmy orders Parnell Stax Edwards, aspiring blues guitarist and longtime collaborator, to take the van to a New Jersey salvage yard owned by John Gotti. There he would go in the crusher, destroying the only evidence of the crime. Besides witness testimony, of course. Stax is a gopher.
But not like Caddyshack gopher. Like,
Stax is a full rodent.
did we fail to mention? And actually, wait, Samuel L. Jackson plays Stax in the movie, and that is how talented of an actor Samuel L. Jackson is. He plays that
really
gopher.
method. He plays that gopher really well.
I've never seen a gopher played that well.
Yeah, it was interesting in the movie seeing him in this because they barely even do a close up on his face. I had to be like, "Is that Samuel L. Jackson?"
Oh yeah, I love when he shows up. It's just like a younger.
Yeah,
I don't know if Samuel L. Jackson was ever young.
know, yeah.
A young Sam Jack.
yeah, but he was consistently doing stuff since the 70s. He's done a lot.
Oh yeah.
So Stax wants to join Jimmy's gang and is their regular chauffeur. Of course, he can dispose of the van. Henry and Jimmy meet up later that night. Jimmy doesn't act out of the ordinary until one brief moment in the car when Jimmy gives Henry a shoulder hug and exclaims, "We got it! We got it!" Then he goes on like the exchange was all in Henry's imagination.
That was not a De Niro impersonation. And I'm not saying the actual Jimmy sounds like Robert De Niro. That'd be amazing casting. It's like,
Well, just know if I tried to do a De Niro impression, it would sound exactly the same. So we can just say that it was, yeah. Jimmy never tells the guys how much they stole. They learned that from news reports the following day. And we'll tell you after the break.
we're back, Heist Clubbers. Jimmy and the crew managed to pull off the score of a lifetime, and without firing a single shot. Stax is off dumping the van while everyone else celebrates. But when the money is counted, the score of a lifetime becomes the score of the century. The news first declares $3 million, then $5 million, then $6 million of cash, plus $1 million in jewels were taken from the warehouse. Henry actually says it's closer to $8 million, which is approximately $40 million today, plus an unknown amount from the jewels. So serious cash. Jesse's laughing. He's so hard. He can't believe it.
A lot of numbers. It's 3, it's 5, it's 6, it's 1, it's 2, it's 4, it's 8, it's 40. Back to you.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we believe Henry. Maybe he was coked up when he said that. Maybe he wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Robertstown gang have officially pulled off the biggest cash robbery in U.S. history at that time. Jimmy does not see that record as an honor, though. The magnitude of the heist makes them the FBI's biggest target. And not just the FBI, the New York Port Authority Police, the Queens District Attorney's Detective Squad, and detectives from New York Police Department's 113th Precinct all know Jimmy's behind this, thanks to the network of informants. So Jimmy's just out there and everyone knows. But you just can't bring someone in. Judges don't sign arrest warrants based on arguing that they know he did it. You need evidence. And it's up to Assistant U.S. Attorney Edward A. McDonald to build the case against them. He requests court approval of homing devices and bugs on cars and orders surveillance. He quickly records Angela saying, a brown case and a bag from Lufthansa, and telling his girlfriend, I want to see, look where the money's at, dig a hole in the cellar, and something inaudible, rear lawn. So this seems pretty clear evidence that Angela's associated with the two. But McDonald can't do much of that besides stew in his frustration. I guess that's still not enough. It at least tells him he's on the right path.
Yeah.
The mob guys are also just too good at losing a tail. It must be part of their training when you join the mob. He can revoke some of their paroles, but that won't get any of them to squeal. As we said in part one, there's like a little bit of pride in going to jail. It's like, oh, you were not a rat. You didn't say anything. You're going to prison. Good on you.
Right.
So while the FBI and McDonald chase Jimmy's crew, Lufthansa employees keep bringing up employee Louis Werner. Rudy even confronts him the day after the heist and tells him he won't be getting away with it. He was suspicious that the masked men knew all about the vault's layout and security system. So I guess, good of Louis to go back to work the next day like nothing happened, right? They're all like, just doing our jobs.
Yeah, he's got to.
Must have been a weird day at the office, but they were there.
Yeah.
Despite the threats handed out by Tommy, the two airport employees, Carrie and Rolf, give facial descriptions and easily identify them. So again, another case of, if you tell anyone, I will kill your family, not really working. So I think part of the moral or lessons learned from the story is that doesn't work. You say 15 minutes or your family kid dies, and they call a 9. And in this case, Carrie and Wolf still give the descriptions, even though you took your mask off and you were scratching your face. So that threat does not work.
If they knew them a little bit more, maybe they would have been more serious, because these guys really do go kill families.
They really do. They kill friends
they really
and families.
mean it.
They kill everyone.
Yeah,
it's true. They didn't take him seriously enough as criminals.
Right.
On Wednesday, a parking officer spots a van in Brooklyn parked in front of a fire hydrant. When he investigates further, he notices it matches the description of the Lufthansa van. Not the van owned by Lufthansa, but the one that they were seen driving when they stole from Lufthansa, just to make that clear.
Thank you.
Thanks to self-described RV buff, this is a whole other side of Rolf we didn't know. Thanks to self-described RV buff, Rolf, who remembered the van he was briefly held hostage in. It had been reported stolen and was searched for fingerprints. They lift fingerprints and find a wallet belonging to one of the victims. And we have a picture of the van here. Yeah, it's a black van, as we said. It's kind of interesting how it's cordoned off. It's got these it's black and white, but I'm going to assume they're orange cones and a little line around it. And they're just standing around looking in the opposite direction of the van.
They're really helpful. No one come close to this van.
I'm not looking at it. I'm not looking at it.
Don't look through the van. Don't cross this cone. Hey, you're on the other side of the cone. Get on the other side of the cone.
What are you doing?
You're too he's about to touch the van, I can tell.
When we share that photo on social media as part of our show notes, then those jokes will make even more sense. They will kill, I promise. So we're leaving those in the edit just so you can...
Make sure you pull up that photo when you get to this part of the...
Yes, rewind, pull up the photo, the jokes will kill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So while they're not looking at the van in this picture, they do have a fingerprint match for Stax. How could this happen? He drove into New Jersey the night of the heist, right? Well, he's going to, but then he thought he should stop by his girlfriend's place first. Common mistake. They did a little cocaine. Less common mistake, but it happens. Had a few beers, passed out, and forgot about his very important job. Like you do after the biggest heist in U.S. history. So maybe Stax was not the best gopher in the biz, you know?
Yeah.
Not the man for the job.
Yeah, not the best gopher to go for.
And the next day, Robert's Lounge hosts a Christmas party. Great timing. Even though the van's discovery is well known, Stax shows up anyway, and he complains about a small payout. I would not complain. Like, you were asking for it. You didn't even do your job.
Don't you know that they kill everyone?
I guess it's the next day, so maybe he's still feeling the effects of the cocaine and the beers and
Yeah, and probably the adrenaline of the crazy $1 million heist. I'm sure he's really on one, as they all are.
Yes, as they all are. That's right. A few days after that, though, here it comes. The police arrive at Stax Edwards' apartment to bring him in for questioning. Instead, they find him dead. Half finished with his meal, Tommy DeSimone did him in with a .25 caliber revolver, which, you see in the movie. You see Tommy taking out Samuel L. Jackson. Well,
yeah,
Stax, but was played by Samuel L. Jackson. Yes. And he is the first of many bodies. Stack's careless air is a bad omen for Jimmy. He makes a rule that everyone is to lay low and not spend the money. Louis, roast beef, interprets that very differently and buys a pink Cadillac and a $25,000 mink coat for his wife, Joanna. He even drives her to JFK in said Cadillac to give her a tour of the heist while the FBI investigates just beyond the fence.
Way to go.
Not smart mistakes.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you're so smart that you get the nickname roast beef.
Yeah, someone with the name roast beef is not smart enough to get away with this and not to buy a pink Cadillac.
If he was smarter and wiser, he wouldn't have such a degrading nickname.
Yeah, I do love roast beef, but it is not the smartest of meats,
No, I would just, if I'm a mobster, I want a badass name, and I would be really sad if it was roast beef.
I'd be sad for you.
Thank you.
Wait. Yours is Buttermilk Bottom, right? That's your, I don't, maybe it wasn't a gang nickname. It was just a high school nickname.
Right. Yeah. Buttermilk Bottom is my mob name. That's officially canon. Yep.
Would you rather have Buttermilk Bottom or roast beef?
Hey, Buttermilk. I'm trying to imagine it. What's up, butter? I don't know. I guess I'd rather have that one than roast beef.
Yeah. I mean, butter. They call you butter for short.
Any food-based nicknames is not my favorite. Yeah. I mean, that's probably likely what it would be, but I don't appreciate it.
I think over half of mob nicknames are food-related. It seems like Tommy Tuna and stuff,
I mean, I'm not an aggressive guy, so it's not going to be like Jesse the Hammer. It's going to be like Jesse the Sofa.
Jesse the Sofa all the time? What?
I don't know. I'm just kind of soft and sleepy.
Soft, leathery, or plush. Covered in plastic sometimes.
Jesse the Bed Night Walker.
Jesse the Bed. Takes a lot of naps.
Yep.
Okay. Well, there we are.
All right.
Then when Louis Werner receives his 10% take, he also does not sit on it. Does he invest in businesses, pay off debts? Nope. He buys a new van. The FBI obviously eyes this with suspicion. Upon further investigation, they see that Marty Krugman, a member of the Roberts Lounge gang, is his bookie. When the FBI pays a visit to Marty, no one is at the door. He's not home. In fact, none of his neighbors have seen him either. It's like he vanished without a trace. What happened? We could probably all guess, but find out after the break.
Welcome back. With the FBI chasing down every lead in the case, they discover that Wigstro owner Marty Krugman is Louis Werner's bookie. Meanwhile, Marty is running Jimmy ragged, demanding $500,000 on top of his original cut. Somehow, he wasn't put off by Stack's murder, assuming it was a drug deal gone south.
This is a big part of the movie, too, with the Marty character, Maury, bugging him nonstop about getting his cut. I think in the movie, it didn't sound like he got anything. In real life, he did. He just wanted more on top of it because he was the source of it. In the movie, it's like, no, you'll get your money eventually. Stop, stop asking. And he just can't stop.
Yeah, his arc at the end reminds me a lot of Uncut Gems. It's like very stressful. It's like, just pay the guy. This is freaking stressing me out.
Well, it is true because they do drag it out. It's like, it's not like just one scene. It's multiple scenes of this happening and Henry trying to get Maury to stop asking because Henry knows what's going to happen, which makes Henry look like a good guy, which I don't know if he was actually doing that in real life. But
exactly.
Yeah. I would say Uncut Gems reminds you of Goodfellas, not the other way around. I'm guessing Scorsese was a little bit of an influence on the Safdies. Just a tad.
Uncut Gems didn't come out first? No, you're right. Uncut Gems from 1989.
What's good for 1989?
All right. So Jimmy's paranoia runs at an all-time high, and Marty's making a pest of himself. He's turning up to Robert's Lounge every day at this point, even with the feds parked just down the block watching everyone. He's wanted Marty gone since forever. His only reason for not killing him is Henry's insistence on keeping the annoying bookie around. So when Jimmy thinks the FBI might knock on Marty's door, he kills him. Marty's body is never recovered. So off screen, he's gone. I don't know.
Yeah. Won't see him again.
Even though I think he probably does die on screen, but in reality, we don't know what happened. The surveillance gets so overwhelming that the crew has to abandon Robert's lounge and move to a new hangout. Jimmy makes sure to have a little fun with the feds. A newspaper article reported that an Adidas shoe left a print behind in the van. So when investigators bring Jimmy in for fingerprinting, he walks in wearing Adidas shoes and gives them a wink. Ding.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous fun.
I mean, it's a subtle thing, but yeah.
It's like the least subtle. It's like not subtle at all. It's like if he was subtle about it, they'd be like, "Oh, we got him." But he had to be like, "Yeah." I'm sure it was a over the top wink.
Right. Yeah.
I can't imagine Jimmy wearing Adidas shoes. Crazy. By the way, playing basketball, it doesn't seem very Jimmy to me.
You're right. But he can't be one step ahead on everything. On January 14th, 1979, Jimmy gets a call at a diner. He's expected to hear that Tommy has officially been made into the Lucchese family thanks to that successful heist. Instead, he's told that Tommy DeSimone has been murdered by the Gambino family for the killing of Billy Batts. Jimmy breaks down in tears over the news. It's a very sad scene.
It is sad. I mean, it's such a well-done scene. I mean, I feel like that shot of Joe Pesci walking in and the room being empty and the look on his face is just...
And honestly, I forgot that happened. So I was like, no, what? This is... Yeah.
Oh, really? I feel like that's one of the things that stuck with me. I just remember that moment of all moments. Because it's also like, Pesci's such a huge character in the movie, too. So for him to be taken out and with those visuals... And it sounds very similar in real life to what happened in the movie where, Jimmy makes the call. He's expecting to hear the good news on, Henry's there with him and he gets the news instead. And he starts, breaking the phone on the telephone booth. So it's true to life to how it happened. And it's a great scene.
Yeah. Poor Tommy.
I mean, Tommy deserved it. He was a terrible
he was the
maniac,
worst, murderous.
Violence.
Yeah.
But
that's also how you get made, probably, I don't know.
What? Oh, by being violent? Well, that's true. But he broke the rules. He didn't get permission to kill Billy Batts and they knew he did it and he lied. So, yes.
That's true.
Plenty of people get made for being violent monsters.
Yeah, you're right. He killed the wrong guy for sure.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you keep saying how sad this is. I don't know. I mean, you're sympathizing with the wrong people.
But there's no good people in this story. I don't know who to feel bad for.
Well, that's also true.
I mean,
which is also true in the movie. There's like, no, who the hell am I rooting for in this movie?
Yeah, it's an emotional scene because I don't know. There's no one that's good in the movie. I don't know who to feel for. So you have to feel for Jimmy in the moment because it's just what's happening.
Yeah.
On February 17th, 1979, Angelo Sepe gets arrested. Finally, a point for law enforcement. But he is immediately set free due to the police botching the search warrants. New tactic. The FBI calls in Louis Werner's former coworker, Peter Grunwald. He acts tough at first, but he folds like an accordion when they throw him in jail for the night. He tells investigators he's pretty pissed that Louis executed the plan without him. They grab Louis just outside of a bowling alley, getting out of his brand new van. Even though the FBI has statements against him, Louis keeps his silence like a real mobster. His bail is set at $1 million. Maybe it's better that way. It's probably safer for him in jail.
Yes and no. I mean, they have people on the inside too. People get killed in jail too. But it is true. A lot of people are being killed outside of jail. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. The jail thing as a mobster seems pretty crazy because you're not safe in some ways, but also really cushy and safe in other ways. Yeah.
As long as you're on good standing with the right people.
It depends. Yeah. With their sole suspect in custody, keeping his mouth shut, the FBI starts offering more money than what the gang got for their cut for information. Some let Jimmy know they were considering the offer, especially...
Why would they tell Jimmy that?
I don't know.
First of all, I didn't know that the FBI does this. They just hand out I guess it's rewards, right? You get a reward for calling in a suspect. So it's like that. So I guess I do know that, but it's just hey, we know you did a crime. Can we give you money to tell us? And then they tell Jimmy. Why would they tell Jimmy?
That is kind of crazy. How much money do you want? Yeah, I don't know how common that is, especially these days, but maybe it is.
Right.
So some let Jimmy know that they were considering the offer. Especially Louis Roast Beef, who knows that Jimmy is already upset with him over the pink Cadillac debacle. Instead of upping everyone's payout and dodging the FBI, Jimmy goes for a more familiar alternative. In March, Jimmy has both Louis and Joanna killed with their bodies compacted together in the pink Cadillac. Poetic.
My kind of poetry.
Yep, I wonder if she was wearing the mink coat. Any person targeted by the feds ends up getting killed. At this point, nearly everyone involved in the heist is either dead or missing. Even Frank, Jimmy's son. Did he kill his own son?
Oh, that's
crazy, Jimmy. Jimmy.
Can't trust his own kin.
I know. The FBI knows they're running a losing race against Jimmy. Only Jimmy and Henry Hill of their little trio remain. They put their share in narcotics deals and legitimate businesses. But even then, the money causes problems. Jimmy accuses restaurant and club owners Thomas Monteleone and Richard Eaton of skimming from the heist money laundered through their business. He kills Richard and throws him in a refrigerated meat truck for some children to find later. They were playing in the garbage like you do.
Oh, I mean, the way you said it, it made it sound like he killed them on purpose for the children to find them. I mean, he probably didn't do that. You know, it just happened. The children are the ones who found him.
That's just the way I said it.
Hey, kids, go find this body.
Yeah, he did this for some children to find. Yeah, exactly.
To scar these kids' lives forever.
That's maybe. What he did. I mean,
Richard. It wasn't enough just to kill Richard. He had to, give some trauma at the same time.
Yep. Jimmy's phone number and address is written on a paper sewn into his jacket. While investigators search for leads to connect Jimmy to the killing, Thomas Monteleone's body is found in Connecticut. In May, Louis Warner's trial starts and ends quickly. The defense doesn't even call any witnesses. As predicted, it ends with a guilty verdict. Since Louis is a dead lead, not actually dead like the others, and a live lead, the FBI targets Buddha, seeing him as a weak link.
I don't know. I've always thought Buddha is a very strong figure.
I've been trying to think of
not this Buddha per se, but the Buddha.
I've been trying to think of a mindfulness Buddhism joke this whole time, and I got nothing. But yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure mine was the most clever. It's what I came up with in the moment,
At least we got something in there. They levy his unrelated murder charge against him, but he doesn't budge. They warn him that Jimmy will likely have him killed for this either way, but no dice. Jimmy is certain Buddha will turn because of that murder charge already pending against him. They take out Frenchie with him, both killed execution style in the front seat of a Buick.
And we have a picture here. I mean, you're seeing them hunched over in the front seats.
Seeing a dead body when I don't know I'm about to see one. Great.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy this got released. Press photo? I don't know. Public? I mean, or is it just police photo somehow from the files? They are both leading in the same direction to the right.
Aww. On June 13th, Paulo Lacastri is found burned, naked, and riddled with bullets in a Brooklyn trash heap. Yikes.
What a way to go.
Way to go.
Awful.
The trifecta. Burned, naked, and riddled with bullets.
Yeah. Why do you need the bullets? And I mean, maybe they burned the body after. So I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm not even going to opine on it.
Don't. The Gambinos don't retaliate this time. Perhaps Jimmy learned from the Billy Bat situation and got permission this time. On June 26th, Louis gets sentenced to 15 years. He tries to change his tune, but it's too late. Everyone he mentions is either dead or missing. But his cooperation shaves his sentence down to 5 years.
So he does cooperate in the end. After all that, after all his silence for that long, he at least tries to cooperate and gets 10 less years because of it.
Yeah, he's like, okay, I got sentenced. What do you want to know,
15 years doesn't seem... I would say it doesn't seem that bad in the full context, but obviously it's a super long time to be locked away.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It finally felt real to him because of it.
Right.
Yeah.
A year later, even though it seems like the FBI is no closer to getting any more suspects, they still have hope. Supervisor Steve Carbone says, "It took the Brinks people 5 years to solve that case, so we still have 4 to go," referring to the Brinks armored truck raid.
Is that how it works? It's like you just look at other crimes and how long they took to get solved, and that becomes your timeline?
Maybe. I guess it makes sense.
Hey, guys, no rush. Take your time. We have at least 5 years to solve this based on that breakthrough.
Yeah. I guess he's a patient guy. In 1980, a break in the case comes when Henry Hill is arrested for narcotics trafficking, and he turns on Jimmy, finally. In exchange for information, he and his family go into hiding in the witness protection program. I knew it was over. I got him first. My gun was quicker than his.
Not his actual gun, though. He's being poetic again.
So many poems in this episode.
Who knew Goodfellas would inspire such poetry?
Investigators have a tough time believing his story that bodies are buried in the lounge. So he hires an excavator and threatens to dig them up himself. Investigators have a tough time with his stories in general. Henry likes to embellish, and he's forgetful. Not a good combination of traits in a witness. But he manages to be of use, and by accident, too. Henry casually mentions a racket he and Jimmy ran down in Boston. When the investigators pry for more, he tells them how he and Jimmy rigged Boston College basketball games to bet against the gambling market for profit in the 1978 to 79 season. Got him.
This is such a random, I mean, obviously not in the movie at all, but I love that, like, Boston College basketball games in the late 70s, this is one of the things that they spent their time doing. I mean, I know the mob is involved in, like, betting scandals. That is just happened this year. I mean, there's ones going on with the NBA and college basketball right now. But I don't know. I guess it's not as sexy as the Lufthansa heist and all the murders, so it didn't make it into the movie.
Yeah, and there's just too much going on. There's already enough characters in Goodfellas, and and it spans so many decades. Yeah, it makes sense. That is not enough.
I mean, it really shows they have their hands in so many pots. They're never wasting a single minute.
Right.
Yeah. Jimmy's 1981 trial ends with a guilty verdict and a sentence of 20 years in prison, and it's all thanks to Henry's testimony. Then, in February 1984, Henry's testimony takes down another boss. This time, it's Lucchese capo Paul Vario. Back in the day, Paul created a fake restaurant job for Henry to get him out of prison quicker. He's slapped with a 4-year sentence, which gets extended 10 more years after he gets a racketeering conviction in prison. Henry's testimony is used in 50 different trials. Wow, is that a record? I mean, I don't know if they keep these records. I didn't see that in my kids' Guinness Book of World Records for testimony used in trials. But that's a crazy number.
Yeah, it sounds like it should be a record.
You could see why he goes into witness protection, even if it wasn't just for Jimmy. If you're at 50 different trials, that's a whole lot of people coming after you.
Yeah, that's scary. Yikes.
Yeah. And then July 1984, Angelo Seppe is killed by his own Lucchese family for stealing cash and cocaine. That's not smart. Why would you do that? You know you would get killed. And in 1996, Jimmy dies in prison from cancer at the age of 64. Before his death, he declared that the Lufthansa money had been cursed, as anyone who touched it died or went to prison. But he's the one who killed most of the people. It's only cursed. There were plenty of moments where you could let people live and trust them or not, or go to jail and not think they were going to rat you out. So I don't know if it's a curse when you're the one who's responsible for the negative ramifications of it all.
Right. I know. Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's
hilarious.
But I mean, whatever. He's just like, yeah, it's cursed.
Yeah. Doesn't work. Henry Hill spends his days in the witness protection program, but that doesn't mean he cleans up his act. In 1981, he has an affair and marries another woman, despite Henry already being married. In 1987, he gets caught trafficking cocaine while in witness protection, for which the feds promptly expel him from the program, which is a crazy thing to be done to you. Because it's like, well, you're on your own now, Henry. Good luck. We're not protecting you anymore. But, I mean, it's his own fault, obviously. I'm not saying he deserves better. And police arrest him a few more times into the 2000s on minor drug and alcohol-related charges. So not a guy who's capable of cleaning up his act. And I actually don't know what the stats are in terms of people that go into witness protection and actually just live a clean life and like this is their chance versus this is who they are and they get right back to it at some point.
Right.
I don't think you have those stats either. I don't know if anyone has those stats.
No one knows.
Why would we have them? Not publicly released. So even though he doesn't stick the landing, Henry believes he came out on top. I'm the dinosaur. I'm still alive. They're all dead or doing life. And then Henry dies in 2012. So everyone dies eventually, but he died of more natural causes than everyone else, I guess we could say.
Yeah.
He lived longer than everyone else. He outlived them all. He did do something that the other guys in the Roberts Lounge gang failed to do, though. He created a pop culture juggernaut. In 1985, this is before he died, of course, with the help of writer Nicholas Pileggi, Henry documents his life story in Wise Guy, Life in a Mafia Family. Then, as we've alluded to so many times in these two episodes, director Martin Scorsese, he adapts the story into his 1990 film, Goodfellas. It received 6 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture and Best Director, and Joe Pesci wins Best Supporting Actor for his portrayal of Tommy DeSimone, although they changed his last name in the movie. And it's he could have won for Home Alone 1, could have won for
My Cousin Vinny.
Home Alone 2, could have won for My Cousin Vinny, although My Cousin Vinny did win an Oscar, Marissa Tomei did win for that movie.
That's
So
awesome.
we can't make complete jokes about that movie not winning Oscars because it did, which is still crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. She is good in that movie, though.
She is so good.
Yeah.
And in 2014, Vincent Asaro, now 78, crime chief for the Bonanno family, is arrested in connection with the heist. Is this it? Will we finally have a mob conviction for Lufthansa more than 5 years after, which was their original timeline? Nope. Vincent Asaro is eventually acquitted, but the state will find a way to send you to jail one way or another. That's definitely true. And in 2017, he was sentenced to 8 years in prison over a road rage incident. They got him. Louis Werner is the only man to ever serve time for the robbery. The $8 million and jewelry has never turned up. What a story.
Wow. So many people got murdered because of this.
So much death. Yeah, I think we often say, no, listen to Heist Club. Not every crime story needs to be a murder. We can tell other stories that are entertaining. And then there's Lufthansa Heist, where we will tell the story of more bodies than many a podcast ever gets a chance to. So...
But I mean, it's a mob story. That's probably how all of them end,
Right. Yeah. They rarely have happy endings.
It's what do they even do with all that money? It's how do they, it just seemed like all it did was cause decades of mayhem. It's it didn't even help them in any way. It just tore the families apart in so many ways.
Literally. It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, stick to the smaller things, right? You have your routines, collect money from the barbershop on the corner, whatever it is that you're doing, but there's always the pressure to get more, right? I'm sure these capos, I'm sure these bosses are are you bringing in enough? If you're not bringing in enough, then you might die that way anyway.
I wonder if this all would have happened if it was only 2 million instead of the 8 that they didn't know they were getting. It's
a good question.
More.
I mean, because the 8 definitely went to Jimmy's head, right? It was whoa, it's this much money. Now I need it. It's supposed to be the opposite though, right? It's if it's only 2, wow, I only got 500,000. I wish I got more. If you get 8, it's wow, everyone gets so much more. Great, I'm getting a lot of money here. But I guess he just saw 8 million. This could be everything.
I mean, I think he panicked, but rightfully
no small job
because it kind of ruined everything. That 6 million difference does a lot.
Well, that and Jimmy's penchant for murder, those two things combined, really.
Yeah, and cocaine and paranoia. It's not a good mix.
Yeah. So, diamond rating, it's a complicated one. I don't know where to put this.
3, because it's in the middle. I don't know.
I mean, they pulled off the heist. It's a big heist. They got a lot of money. There were a lot of people involved, but it sounds like they needed that number of people involved to really, hold all the employees at bay and get the money out of there. Stacks didn't really necessarily work out so well for them, and that was a problem that got in the way. But they did plan a lot of things the right way. They got the word on the inside. They followed that word. They waited for the right day, the right time. They pulled it off, And then obviously only Louis served time for it. So in some way they got away with it, and the money and jewelry were never found. And usually it's a positive for us, positive in that higher diamond rating, but no one enjoyed that money. I mean, no one got to spend that money. I mean, yes, they bought a fur coat and they bought a pink Cadillac and they had access to those things for days, weeks before they were murdered in them.
Right. Yeah, it was just a big mess. But also, doesn't every heist end in a huge mess?
Not all. We've given a 5-star before. We've had people get away with stuff sometimes, and we've had now a couple where they never found, who stole Buzzy? Who stole Buzzy from Disney? We still don't know.
Yeah. I guess mess, I mean, just and then you had to hide out for the rest of your life and leave your wife.
Yeah.
It's still just a nightmare.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do agree. Well, yeah, these people are making that decision knowing that. And for us to why would you ever? None of this is worth it. Why would you ever? I agree. So for, we all die in the end. So they're all 0 diamonds.
Everyone dies. No diamonds for anybody.
No diamonds for anyone. I'm going to go 3.5. Maybe it's just to differ with you. But again, I feel like they pulled it off. It was well planned. They had the right guys to a degree to pull it off. The money was never found. Only Louis served time. I don't know. Do I really believe in this 3.5? I don't know if I do.
I mean, it's not a 1, they definitely, it was pretty crazy,
Yeah. And I mean, maybe it's impossible to think that everyone will get away with it. I don't know. That's just not maybe realistic. So, okay, I'm going 3.5. You're going 3. By the way, I'm not a 5 diamonds out of 5 diamonds on Goodfellas. I don't know if you are. I'm a 4.5 diamonds on the movie. I am not like, that is not on my Mount Rushmore of movies of all time.
No.
There's so many memorable moments. Some of the camera work, especially the acting, is incredible. And I don't want to hate on a movie just for not having anyone that's likable and to root for. I just still think like when you're 2/3 in and all of a sudden Henry's on his benders.
The third act is kind of weird. Even the ending is kind of weird. It's not the best Scorsese film, but like as far as mob films, it's pretty iconic and like pretty crazy.
Oh, it's stuff. I think it could be iconic without being like, it's definitely iconic, but it's not Scorsese's best movie to me. I mean, but I do love Scorsese, Mean Streets, Taxi Driver, Kundun, Bringing Out the Dead. There's a lot of movies that I love that, are not the best known of his movies. And he's just, incredible.
Yeah. No, he's great.
Yeah.
Hot take. Martin Scorsese
makes
good movies.
Hot takes. Scorsese, good director.
Job. All right, let's get out of here.
And that wraps up. Okay, let's get out of here. That wraps up the first ever 2-parter. Maybe one day we'll have a 3-parter. Maybe we'll have a 4-parter. But this was worth it. There's a lot of story to tell and a lot of characters, and it's quite a real life story. And I think, it's obviously a part of the movie, but when you think of the movie, the first thing you don't think of is the heist. But the whole second half of the movie is really about getting this done and, what happens after. So yeah. I'm glad we told it.
Yeah, it's a huge heist. I feel like we have to talk about this. It's a crazy, crazy, crazy thing.
Yeah, and not the biggest cash heist forever. We know Dunbar broke the record, and then there's another one after. But it was the record, and these Goodfellas pulled it off.
Good job, Goodfellas. All right, that's it. See you next week. Thanks, y'all.
See you guys.
And tune in next week for a duo with a penchant for holiday home invasions.
Heist Club is a production of School of Humans, hosted by me, Todd Weiser.
And me, Jesse Neiswanger. I do all the fancy audio and music editing too.
This episode was researched and produced by Carolyn Talmadge. Our senior producer is Amelia Brock.
Our production manager is Daisy Church. Our executive producers are Virginia Prescott, Brandon Barr, and Elsie Crowley.
Join us again next week for Heist Club, and don't forget to rate and review. Thanks.